and Cane Creek Concrete. Courage, hope, commitment, and community. The 44th Annual Ingles Smoky Mountain Toy Run, Saturday, November 2nd. More info at SmokyMountainToyRun.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingles studio on this Wednesday afternoon, just less than 1 week away from the NFL trade deadline.
We also are 1 week away from not having to see stupid political ads anymore.
Yay!
Woo, let's go! The final countdown.
Well, I mean, yeah, for the time is running out for you to vote. We encourage everyone who has done your homework, go out and vote. It's the best thing I got for you. Early voting will end on Saturday.
Man, I'm looking forward to not seeing these two turds for one of them ever again.
I was going to say, you're going to have to see at least one of them for a long time.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea which one that's going to be, too.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. Election day coming up on Tuesday, so make sure to do your civic duty.
You said duty.
I did say duty. And anyway, welcome into the program. First one of the week for me as back from our whirlwind trip to Nashville, Tennessee. On Saturday night at 8 o'clock on CBS, CMT, and on Paramount Plus, you will see the United Way's Hurricane Helene benefit concert, and I'll be making an appearance on there with Mark Starling. We went in and
featuring Tanker and Cantankerous.
I like it.
Yeah,
we need shirts.
We need shirts. I thought of that while you were gone.
First news on 570. Tank and Cantankerous. I love that. Anyhow, yeah, me and Mark were out there filming with the United Way. Got to meet Cody Allen of CMT fame. Also got to meet my secret celebrity. I knew going into this that I was going to meet somebody famous. And I was hoping that it was going to be like, Post Malone or, somebody that would make my wife jealous. I got Clay Aiken instead, which is just fine. Just fine. It was a cool trip. A lot of fun. Saturday night, 8 o'clock, donate and help out the United Way with the Hurricane Helene relief effort. It was a lot of fun. Spent some time in Nashville. Never got to do that before. The only time
Nashville's such a cool city.
The only time I had ever been to Nashville in the past was for a job interview. I drove up, had lunch with a dude somewhere around Vanderbilt University, and then we went down to Broadway for like 10 minutes, and then I left, and I never saw anything else. So this time, I actually got to see Broadway lit up at night. I got to see all the cool bands. It was a cool trip.
I go to Nashville twice a year. I've only been to Vanderbilt once, and it was to absolutely get up with the get down with a bunch of future doctors and lawyers and politicians and
right.
All those dudes way smarter than me. Also, couldn't hold their liquor for squat.
Apparently, you blew up some equipment while I was gone. Is that what happened?
No,
I saw that in the chat.
Well, we did a mock draft. There's only one problem. I recorded it with our wireless mics, and I learned something about those. They don't tell you when they die. So we got about 8 minutes in, and then we had an hour of Charlie Chaplin.
Just unless you're a lip reader, you're not going to enjoy this.
We will circle back to that mock draft at the first opportunity. They've also said you were much cuter on the live stream on Monday.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see the live stream.
I did not see the live stream. No.
So what I did was you remember when you were, I don't remember if you were whining about something. I put
the little
baby head,
yeah.
The crying baby head. Well, since you weren't there and I didn't want to change all the streams, I went to the AI box and I searched for overweight baby wearing a cowboy hat. And it generated a picture of just the cutest little chubby, little chunker baby with a cowboy hat on. Yeah. And so I put that on your side of the screen.
Just living the country life there in Nashville. Music City was awesome. I got my my shirt here from Hattie B's. Hot chicken.
Oh,
I had two different
awesome.
I had two different servings of hot chicken while I was there, trying to cover all the bases, and I've realized one thing. That at some point when I'm done with all of this broadcasting BS, I will probably try to be a Hattie B's franchisee. And I must bring the hot chicken honey biscuit to Western North Carolina.
Good luck with that.
It has to happen.
Yeah, good luck with that. They don't let that out of Nashville for a reason.
Oh, that's not true. They have spots in like airports, so maybe I can put one in our airport. I don't know. It's maybe they'll have room for it at one point. I don't know. I will say this.
Say what you're gonna do? Put it in the cart outside.
I will say though, after spending time in the Charlotte airport and then the Nashville airport and then the Charlotte airport again, and then you fly into Asheville, it's a little bit of a different experience going airport to airport.
Well, I mean, you're talking about colossal, almost colossal, just a little teeny tiny thing.
He's doing
just
stuff.
A sardine can with planes.
They're doing the renovations, though. We're hoping that the renovations are going to be awesome, which they'll be better than what we have currently.
One of the funnier moments in all of my travels, I was on a plane, and I swear to you this is true. It's always kind of blown my mind that this happened, and it apparently happens more than you would think. We were flying into Asheville. We were coming from Atlanta, I think. So they're almost to the Asheville Regional Airport. And they realized the plane was too big to land there and had to divert us to Greenville.
Oh.
They had no clue. Apparently our pilot had never landed at Asheville before.
Right.
And he got over the airport and went, nope.
Can't make that.
I don't know if somebody missed a button. I don't know. But I laughed and went, awesome. Now I have to rent a car because I don't have a car in Greenville.
Oh, shoot. It was a great trip. Everybody was pretty fantastic, other than the one guy that tried to end my life while I was walking in downtown Nashville.
Oh, and you didn't have Darren Sproles to save you?
I did not. I didn't have Darren Sproles to save me in that instance, but I'll throw this out to the group. Was I wrong?
Probably.
All right, so me and Mark are standing on the corner. We wait for the light to change. The little green hand comes, or the white hand comes up on the crosswalk. We start walking across. Guys pulling left onto the road. He's just coming. Just not even paying attention, whatever. He and I locked eyes before he even turned the damn steering wheel, and he still continued to. And I said, you know what? I'm not braking. I am not breaking stride on this. I walked right up to the side of his car, was two inches away from his window as his wife is staring at me wide-eyed, and I'm going, what are you doing? And he just kept on rolling, and I punched the side of his car as hard as I could as he went by. and Mark, of course, Mark is like he's like Kyler Murray scooting across the way. The dude pulls out. He stops in the middle of the road, gets out of the car, and goes, "Why don't you come do it again?" And I went, do I need to, or did you learn the lesson? And then he got back in his car and just went on.
See, this is what – all right. So Tank learned two very valuable lessons. One, he is very spoiled traveling with me because I am the hotel whisperer. I will find the coolest place for you to possibly stay.
Mark's got some work to do in that area.
Mark needs to learn how to book hotels because I have now heard from all four of you the tale of your first hotel,
yes,
which I think doubled as a Pauly Shore flop house. because there were a whole mess of crimes happening around that place, which made me
That
laugh.
was a Tyrone Bigham's flop house.
So I knew you were in trouble when you said he booked us a Quality Inn by the airport. And I went, there were 7 words in that, and all of them were immediate red flags for me. You never stay by the airport. Ever. Because that is where you get a beer and a scar.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've heard this story, and I've learned that, well, you're spoiled traveling with me, part due. Of Tank thinks he can punch a car, and he's got Mongo back here behind him that's going to save him. Because, see, if that story was told and it wasn't Mark Starling going, skid, 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 it was me, I'd have been like, all right,
let's go.
I hadn't fought in the middle of a street in a long time.
I was ready. I was fired up, ready to go. I was like, I don't know if that guy can kick my ass, but we're about to find out right here in the middle of downtown Nashville. Just, Rosa Parks Boulevard is about to be lit up.
Oh, yeah. That's, those are lessons that I've taught myself before of, well, this might hurt. I don't know what my semi-pro record is in fights like this, but I'll tell you this. Pretty damn good.
We were walking away from the scene, and Mark looked at me, and he was like, that guy's glad that he didn't come over here. And I went, hold on, Mark.
Is he, though?
Hold on, Mark. If anybody was going to have an advantage in this, it might have been me. He was tall, but he weren't too big.
If somebody had punched my car and I had gotten out and it was you and Mark Starling, I think I would have just got back in the car laughing. Like,
I don't want to kill those guys today.
And I can, and I know I can.
It was just one of those things, like, you picked the wrong day, brother. You have no idea what I've been through in the last month. I have all of this pent-up aggression inside of me just waiting to explode on somebody. Right, you're going to catch Hurricane Tank in a second.
I'm going to teach you a valuable lesson, and you can use this if you ever go to jail or in situations like this. If you ever do that and you get into a situation where you have gone too far, and out of that car crawls someone that looks like me,
mm-hmm.
you just punch yourself in the face a few times as hard as you can. Blood will occur,
yes.
and you just wipe it under your eyes and go, let's do this. Because then they just look at you and go, oh crap,
this dude's crazy.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah, I'm usually not that guy, but for some reason at that moment I went, you know what? We'll see how this shakes out.
All right, in the chat, they're greatly laughing at Hurricane Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a minor tropical depression at best, but it does get real red faced.
Absolutely.
Tank Mad is top 5 funniest things you'll ever see in your life. He gets as red as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer jersey,
mm-hmm.
and his head, because it's like a beacon of pointy light anyway, and it's the only thing that doesn't get red.
Yeah,
so his whole head looks infected and he's just pissed. Like,
although it may not have been so discolored, like the color may not have been so different because I had the makeup on from the shooting on television.
Let's go. Matt in the YouTube chat said Hurricane Tank. Let's put that on a shirt and take my money. Brother, as the guy that designs those, I believe I can do that. I am going to make a cartoon of Tank that is just completely red-faced.
So I learned several things this weekend. Apparently Nashville is, I'm going to say, top 3 city I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah.
I will say I cannot wait to go back to Nashville, especially when I saw a super chat pop up. I haven't even read it yet. Jeremy's doing that look on his face like, oh, that was a good one.
It was good.
I really want to go back to Nashville in about 2 years when they get that new stadium built, the new Nissan Stadium or whatever they're going to call it. When it's done, that looks phenomenal. Every time I talk to a Nashvilleian, they were...
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's Dr. Douchy. People from Phoenix are called Phoenicians. Stop. No. They are people from Phoenix. Yeah. We don't need a term for everything.
Every time I talk to somebody from Nashville, that complex got bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's going to be the Parthenon by the end.
Yeah, and they already have one of those.
Yeah.
It's a $2 billion project. No, it's a $4 billion. No, it's going to cost $12 billion to build this stadium. No, it's not.
$474 billion. The biggest stadium you've ever seen, and I did it.
And then the same thing with Luke Combs' place, because when people find out you're from Asheville, they go, "Oh, Luke Combs is from Asheville. Do you know Luke?" No, I do not know Luke.
Do you know how many free beers I've gotten because people are like, "You're from Asheville? You look like Luke Combs." I should. I'm his brother. I ran up like $1,000 bar tab one night because some dude thought I was Luke Combs'
Nice.
brother. I told him that story one time, and he went, "Don't do that."
Apparently, Luke is building like some giant venue complex over there in Nashville, in downtown. So, in a few years, Nashville's only going to get cooler.
Hit your super chat button because
the third thing I learned this weekend is that Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack, right down the street here in West Asheville,
formidable hot chicken.
It's not. It's as good. It's as good as any hot chicken that I had in Nashville. So I didn't know that. So I learned that we have Nashville hot chicken here. We just don't call it Nashville hot chicken. It's called Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack.
Bingo.
West Asheville location and South Asheville as well.
That may be where I grabbed dinner tonight.
There's your free promo, Rockies. You are welcome. And we are glad that you have brought hot chicken into our lives. All right, we're going to get into some sports here in just a moment, but let's do some super chatty stuff.
There it is.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
And you had to hit it again because he just doubled down.
Oh.
Hurricane Tank, the lightest drizzle you've ever seen.
And then?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Hurricane Tank, 0.5 chance of drizzle.
I need that on a shirt.
Category 0.5 chance of drizzle.
Yeah, that's actually what I call my my outfits. This is my drizzle. Some people have their drips. I have my drizzle.
Yeah. You do dress like a man that would call it his drizzle.
No doubt.
There are about 8 jokes I want to tell right here.
Nope.
I don't think I can.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We've got a lot of goodwill built up in the community. Don't ruin it on some stupid joke. The football world is just...
She keeps on spinning.
She keeps on spinning despite how many games I watch. So, again, we're at the point where we need Tank's midweek re-education on what happened this weekend, as well as what's going on in the trade market. Deontay Johnson, I guess that has to be our top story with the local team. The Carolina Panthers have made a deal. They give an AFC contender the weapon that it needs. And in return, I'm not real sure they really were involved in the negotiations all that much.
They got a bottle of Tacos wine from the league.
We'll talk about the stick of gum that the Carolina Panthers got back for Deontay Johnson when we come back here on ESPN Asheville.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks with an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Hey, what's going on? This is Barry from the band Shinedown. We're heating things up with the release of our third hot sauce, Attention, Mango Habanero. The really hot part is that for every bottle of sauce you buy, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Musicians on Call. Musicians on Call brings live music directly to patients, families, and caregivers in hospitals across the country. Get your hands on our new hot sauce by visiting shinedown.com/tasteofmadness and help us deliver the healing power of music with Musicians on Call. We really appreciate it.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is where it starts, where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
I have been instructed by iHeartRadio corporate that I cannot condone hitting cars as you cross streets. Don't do that. That's not. I'm making that up. Never lie to your audience. No, you probably shouldn't go out and hit cars. Corporate did not call. I'm just covering all the bases here in case I do. They get that phone call.
I was about to say,
you know, you really
called on that. Wait till I start telling stories about things I've done to cars. Well-timed piece of Oscar Mayer can mess your day up bad.
He's going to peel the paint right off of that sucker. It is the Sportsocracy. The NFL trade deadline is on Tuesday of next week, and we have deals that have already been made. The Carolina Panthers sending Deontay Johnson, the number one trade asset that they had in the building, to the Baltimore Ravens. So good for the Ravens for picking up another weapon. Love that idea for them. Carolina, on the other hand, what they got back in the trade doesn't seem like a lot of value, if you ask me.
Well, we have a super chat that speaks directly to that.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from Soaring Eagle, and he said, Dan Morgan might not be that much better than Scott Fitterer. Okay. Now, I have to have a caveat here of not only do I know Dan, I like Dan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that a mess of times in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Here's my question. What did you think they were going to get?
I thought you would get what you got, but not have to give up a pick yourself.
Okay.
I thought you could trade him for a 5th-round pick to somebody, maybe a 6th-round pick, and not have to give anything up.
Well, here's where a lot of you seem to be missing the boat on this deal. You realize that trading into the 5th round from the 6th round is roughly the value of a 6th-round pick, right?
Is it? Okay.
So Baltimore's 6th-round pick, and I'll pull up the trade chart here in just a second, it's going to be at the end of the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
Those picks dwindle in value fast.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Johnson's not signed for next year. He's already been a headache contract-wise. Baltimore, I already have this on good authority, has zero intention of re-signing him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got. He's a notorious locker room headache. He's a good, not great wide receiver that many teams look at and go, you're not worth the headache that you bring. You also seem to be forgetting that there are a mess of fifth-round comp picks, usually to the tune of about 20.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much more than a jump up 8 spots. If you
Yes.
just look at it in the draft order, you got Baltimore at the back end of the 5th round, Carolina at the very top of the 6th round.
Right.
But you're forgetting there are comp picks in there, too.
There are several comp picks in there, and I didn't think about that when I first heard the story this morning. I was thinking, wait a minute, Baltimore could win the Super Bowl.
Not because of Deontay Johnson.
And not because, no, but I mean, he could be a bit player in a Super Bowl team.
He's a good 2.
And then the Carolina Panthers, the worst team in the league. So you moved up like 4 spots in the draft from the top of the 6th round to the bottom of the 5th round. It's a little more than that. Currently, as the standings are, it would be a move from number 177, which is the first pick in the 6th round. You moved up to 159. So it's about 20 spots, maybe. It's going to get smaller, I have a feeling. But I don't know. It just, plus the fact that they picked up most of his money, they're paying the majority of Deontay Johnson's salary for the rest of the year.
It's $3 million. Who
I
cares?
don't care. It's still just, it feels like you got nothing out of this.
And but you got something. It's not much of something, but you got something for absolutely nothing. Deontay Johnson was not playing another year in Charlotte.
No doubt.
That was never happening. They're playing for absolutely zero right now. You also have Jonathan Mingo that really needs to be playing in that Deontay Johnson spot. This is actually a pretty bright deal.
Okay.
You got something for something that was giving you nothing. If anything, you improved your draft slot because Deontay Johnson is the kind of guy that could accidentally win you a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to accidentally win a game.
Right. And now you have 3 picks in the 5th round next year. So
which makes you what?
Able to move up.
Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hoard picks. Because I need to be able to slot in. I'm not saying NFL teams use that trade value chart the way that people think they do, but it is something that they look at and go, I mean, we got to be close.
Mm-hmm. But if you're a team like Carolina who you already have less capital than you should going into this year because you still owe Chicago the first pick in the 2nd round from the deal that you did with DJ Moore.
And now then done. And then it's over. We don't have to do this any more years.
Right. They did pick up an extra 2nd round pick from the Rams. So they have the 45th pick in the 2nd round. You have the top pick in the 3rd round. I'm looking here. You've got your top pick in the 4th round, and then you've got 3 in the 5th, which gives you the ability to possibly get back up into the 2nd round or to get back up into the 3rd round. I mean, I see the value of having that extra pick. It just felt on the face of it. What did you really get out of this? You moved up 12 spots, maybe.
Something for nothing is always a win. The guy that tried to sell you the rock with the reflector in it.
Yeah.
If you'd given him 5 cents, he robbed you blind.
Yes.
Because he sold you a piece of road trash. Deontay Johnson is a valuable player of the Baltimore Ravens. He wasn't a valuable player of the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
There was also absolutely no market for him because he has a reputation. He butted heads with Mike Tomlin, who gets the best out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I think I could put him in a name me a locker room that needed a wide receiver? That's another part of this. You were real late to the party.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't a lot of teams that needed a receiver. You think the Buffalo Bills were giving up a 6th-round pick for Deontay Johnson? Good God, no. I got Keon Coleman, who's been an absolute dog for the last month. I've already got Amari Cooper. And I got Khalil Shakir. He's not an improvement over Keon Coleman. And pushing Shakir out doesn't make any sense because he's been fine too.
Right.
And you can do that with practically every team. You always have to remember, a player is not, they're only as valuable as what somebody is willing to spend on them. And a notoriously malcontent wide receiver who is signed for 9 more games, has virtually no value.
True.
It was positive for Carolina to get anything out of him. Now, the Baltimore side of this, he helps, but I don't think it's as much as people are making it out to be. You do understand he does his best work out of the slot, right?
Sure.
You know who else does?
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have 2 smallish receivers. Yes, on paper they look much more dynamic, and they are more dynamic. It's just not as much as you think. He's a fine 2. To me, he is a fractional improvement in that offense over Rashad Bateman.
Okay. But how much of an improvement is he over the third guy?
Well, and that's not an apples-to-apples comparison, because the third guy would be Nelson Aguilar, who's playing on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
He is an improvement there. The problem is that there will never come a day where you have Zay and Deontay and Aguilar. You still have to get Rashad Bateman on the field, and they run a lot of 12 personnel.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of tight ends, 2 tight ends on the field, a lot. He helps. But these people that are, well, Baltimore's the favorite to win the Super Bowl now. Yeah. You're smoking crimes in an aggressive manner.
Did this move the needle at all for you?
At all? Yes. Not much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel the same way about this move as I did about DeAndre Hopkins in Kansas City.
I'm already a little higher on this than I would be on DeAndre.
You were already a contender, and now you just added a weapon.
It always helps to add a weapon, but you also, and this is one of those, you say it's 3-dimensional chess.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out where he slots in.
Sure.
And if you're thinking you're going to put him on the outside, good luck. Look at that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what he's done over the course of his career. That's not how he wins. Oh, by the way, he's still got to learn this playbook.
Right.
Has there been an acclimation period for Devontae Adams? Has there been an acclimation period for Amari Cooper? Of course there is.
Of course.
The hope here is that when you get to January, he will be acclimated to this system enough. They will have figured out what he does enough that he can be a usable piece. At the end of the day, he's still the 4th target in this offense. Take the name away. Look at the offense. He ain't beating Zay Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't beating Mark Andrews. He ain't beating Isaiah Likely. You picked up a nice 4th target. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, a 4th target that if you play him and Zay Jones on the outside at the same time, don't be shocked when every single team plays 3 high and starts blitzing guys off the edge, because Zay nor Deontay Johnson can block to save their lives. And I get it. You've got Derrick Henry. You can kind of mitigate that because you're running between the guards and between the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the solution everybody's making it out to be.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, an afternoon where we're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. The mild weather continues here for a couple of more days, and temperatures will come down a few degrees, but it looks like we're still going to hover above average. 72 today, seeing a little more sun. Tonight, some clouds, 53. More sunshine on Halloween with a high near 75. Then we're down a few for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still no rain. Partly to mostly sunny at or just above 70 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Burrito. Wendy's Breakfast Burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese sauce, bacon or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
The sounds of a massive group of Iron Steeds may be diminished this year, but these same bikers will stand up with their heartfelt desire to help those less fortunate. For 44 years, this annual event has taken place, and the hurricane may have lessened some of what we do, but it won't stop us. A community celebration of a small return to normalcy is what the 44th annual Ingalls Smoky Mountain Toy Run is being billed as. Join us Saturday, November 2nd at Kierfot, just east of Swannanoa, Gates open at 10. Food, music, event apparel for sale, a chance to win some cash with our 50-50, and Santa and Mrs. Claus may even make an entrance. Admission is a new toy worth at least $20 or $20 cash per person. Bring your classic and hot rod cars, no one turned away, and donations will be accepted. Sponsored by Hall's Towing, Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers, Valley Truck, and Allen's Jewelry and Pawn. Courage, hope, commitment, and community. The 44th Annual Ingalls Smoky Mountain Toy Run, Saturday, November 2nd. More info at SmokyMountainToyRun.com.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you are in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at ParksFordHendersonville.com. That's ParksFordHendersonville.com.
At Ingalls Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And Jeremy, you'll never guess what I met in Nashville. I met a baseball fan. I don't meet those much anymore.
That's because not many of them exist.
Not many of them do.
And those that do, they don't tend to take a lot of trips.
Yeah, we did. I did enjoy watching the World Series game the other night, hanging out at the Fuse Sports Bar at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel.
It's hard to get to Nashville in a horse and buggy. Cranking up the old Model T, because that's when engineering at its finest.
The bad part about the baseball fan that I did meet, Jose is a Yankees fan, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I was trying to talk him off the ledge because they were down 2-0. Game 3 the other night didn't go so hot. Before you knew it, they were down by 4 runs, and I had to remind him, like, look, there's always a chance in baseball. The Red Sox did it 20 years ago, came back from 3-0 down in the series. Not saying it's going to happen with this team, just, trying to give the guy a little hope that maybe, just maybe, and maybe every good comeback has that one interference moment. Back in the 2004 ALCS, you may remember when A-Rod slapped the ball out of Bronson Arroyo's hand to try to get to first base.
Oh, yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Get away with one.
Oh, wait, no, I don't.
No, you don't. Last night, in Game 4 of the World Series, Mookie Betts catches a foul ball. Did you see this? He catches the foul ball at the wall, out of bounds, and the two dudes at the wall, one of them grabs his glove and pries it open like he's like trying to break a coconut or something, and just pulls the ball out of his glove. Like, that's a great way to get kicked out of a ballpark and never asked to come back.
And they did.
And
but
they
they're
did.
also you also got to understand this is New York. They're heroes in New York right now.
Oh, no doubt. These guys are getting beers bought for them at every
For
bar.
sure. Did anybody check his ID? Was his name Jeffrey Mayer?
Jeffrey Mayer.
There's a deep dive.
That is a deep dive.
That was the Baltimore Oriole fan that did this at Yankee Stadium a billion years ago.
This went way beyond that. And I felt bad for Mookie because Mookie, he doesn't know what's behind him. And then all of a sudden, he's got his back to the crowd, and somebody just starts pulling his glove behind him. Obviously, the play was overturned, fan interference, all of those things. How stupid do you have to be? And see, this is why when I showed up and met up with Jose, and he wanted to go watch the Yankee game, he had the Yankee cap on, I was like, I can't do this. I can't sit and honestly be with and nice to a Yankee fan. But I did. He was a great guy.
I am firmly of the belief that we should play World Series games as we're interrogating prisoners of war that have information that we really want.
It's so ridiculous.
I watched several innings of that game last night and kept going, will you do something? God, that sport's boring. My story is about Captain Ayahuasca himself. He has found the fountain of youth.
Has he?
Aaron Rodgers apparently was given an elixir by Thomas Morstead, the veteran punter of the New York Jets.
Okay.
And you would think, oh, is this some kind of herbal tea? Is this some other hallucinogenic drug that's going to open his mind to the darkness? It was water and cayenne pepper.
My grandma used to drink that.
Jenny Craig's been doing this for about 50 years, bruh. You forgot the lemon juice and maple syrup to not make it taste like crap. Really? That you said that out loud. You looked into a microphone and went, I've found the fountain of youth. What is that? Water. What's it got in it? That red pepper crap that you put on tacos. And now I feel awesome. You are such a tool. Like I don't think I've ever gone from loving someone to absolutely hating them as quickly as I have with Aaron Rodgers. Because now I just look at him and go, you are such a twit. And after running through the mock draft, I'm like, oh, we are LMNO screwed. Because there's only 2 quarterbacks and we're going to pick about 5. Just lose. Please just lose. I hope you get slaughtered by the Texans.
What is the record now?
2-6.
2-6.
Woo!
You know that's not going to happen, right?
What?
You know how this goes.
Oh, what? Did they finish 8-9 and wind up picking 12? Oh, for sure.
Or
I'm a Jets fan.
or they end up 9-8 and skip into the playoffs somehow.
And get just their face
murdered,
mushed in round 1. I do feel like the AFC's looking around right now going, I don't want to make the playoffs. You make the playoffs. No, you do it. There's the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, who else? The Indianapolis Colts. Who? Let me ask you a question. If you had to pick a situation moving forward out of the 4 teams I just said, and you know what? I'll even throw in the Denver Broncos.
All right, say them again.
Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, Denver Broncos. We'll go Los Angeles Chargers, Cincinnati Bengals, Indianapolis Colts. Who is in the best situation moving forward, and who is in the worst?
Cincinnati Bengals. They're in the best.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
What do they really have? I guess I didn't quite realize this until I saw them with Andrea Iashivas as their 2. You take T. Higgins away, and I feel like that's a foregone conclusion. What do they really have? Like, what's the position on that team? You got Joe, and you got Jamar. Then what?
Yeah, that's what you got.
That's not really a positive to me. I mean, it's a positive.
I was going to say it's a much bigger
third of your cap space for 2 guys, one of whom you've yet to sign.
I was going to say it's a much bigger benefit than any of those other teams have, isn't it?
I will be honest with you. I started thinking about this after I did the Overreaction Monday live stream on Monday, I will take the Broncos and I will take the Chargers light years ahead of those other 4 because you have money.
Mm-hmm.
You have things coming off the cap. You're not pot committed. The other 4, you're in it, baby. This is what you got. The Jets have a lunatic quarterback. All his bestest little buddies are over for a sleepover, and you are LMNO screwed. The Miami Dolphins have a quarterback who is one good acorn falling out of a tree and hitting him in the head away from the biggest net lost spent cost in NFL history. The Colts have a quarterback who, I'm tired, coach. I gotta sit down. I know it's third down. We're in the red zone, but I got to sit down. I've been working too hard. Did Anthony Richardson unionize at some point? I missed it. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Did he boycott or something?
No, he tapped out. First time I've ever seen a quarterback do that. He gets hit on second down.
Yeah.
He scrambled out of the pocket.
Yeah.
And I saw this live, and I knew exactly what he was doing. He starts patting his helmet. It's 3rd and 7 in the red zone, and you've completed, at this point, 2 whole passes, and it's the second quarter of this game. He tapped out, and they had to bring in Joe Flacco because he was tired.
Oh.
I've never seen that.
No.
I knew exactly what he was doing when he did it. He's not hurt.
Right.
Again, his leg did turn kind of a weird angle. He didn't limp off.
Mm-hmm.
He walked out like gassed. Nope, I got to sit down. I'm sleepy. Sleepy boy. I got to go night-night.
Wow.
We
need to work on that guy's conditioning.
I will. For me, that's enough for me to never start you again.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you every guy in that locker room went, are you freaking kidding me? You couldn't score in a cat house with a pocket full of hundreds. We're in the red zone miraculously for like the 5th time in 2 weeks, and you're going to tap now? Are you out of your mind? And now they're rolling with Joe Falco. Joe Falco.
And now is that because
for sure
Anthony Richardson is just soft,
sure. Softer than the contents of that baby that I put in your place's diaper?
Or is this cover for Anthony? Are they saying that he's hurt? Are they saying that he can't go this weekend? Or
no,
is
they
it
benched
just
him. No, they straight up
on...
benched him. We know the AFC has 2 spots that are wide open, and we need to go get one of those.
So they're making the playoff run with Joe Falco.
Oh, generations. He has a good point. I was wrong. He had 3 completions at that point.
Oh.
The only problem is that one of those completions went to the Houston Texans. That's a very solid point. He does that almost gooder than anybody in the NFL not named Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to be the Indianapolis Colts right now. I don't want to be the Jets. I don't want to be the Bengals. I don't want to be the Dolphins. You are pot committed, and you got a losing hand.
Yeah.
Those 4 teams, you have different sets of pocket cards, don't get me wrong. The Bengals have an ace and a 7. Sweet, that's the first card you could possibly have where I can't make a straight on either side. Yeah, I need aces bad because there's no other winner here. The Jets have a 2 and a 9 and are just, and they're drunk, aggressively going, bet it, do it, I want you to. No, you don't. There's only like 4 sets of cards that anybody can have that are worse than yours.
Sunday night.
The Dolphins are throwing Keno chips. Like, is that what we do here? Why does everybody have poker cards? This isn't poker.
Sunday night we were down on Broadway, checking out the sights. Everything was cool. I'm still blown away by all of the activity. Every bar has a band in it. Every bar is packed to the gills. And then there was a certain moment in the night where Mark and I are walking down the sidewalk, and then every bar at the same time exploded in cheers. And it was the Jaden Daniels Hail Mary to beat the Chicago Bears. And I got to see one Chicago Bears fan
flip
out in a way that I don't think I'd ever seen in public. This guy dragged 6 people in his little party. They were all Chicago Bears fans, and they were hanging out at like Tootsie's or something watching the game. It wasn't at Tootsie's. It was like next door to Tootsie's. It was in the vicinity on that block. He pulled 6 people out of that bar that all had Chicago Bears jerseys on within 10 seconds of that ball landing in who was it that caught the pass? It was
Noah Brown.
In Noah Brown's hands. And he went to the middle of Broadway and just started screaming obscenities at the 5 people that he drug out of that bar.
Yes.
Come on, dumb! Just ripping into these people. And we're all like, there's a whole 1,000 people standing on the sidewalk looking at this guy like, what just happened? And then we turned around, and there are 17 Washington Commanders fans just hee-hawing out the window at the Bears fans that were skedaddling across Broadway, full traffic, on a Sunday night at that was 7 o'clock?
Yeah. See, that's where I would have been.
It was great.
I would have been rocking a Jets jersey after we lost to the god-awful New England Patriots, and I would have been following that dude down the street. Like, bear down! Caleb Williams! Woo! Just like, hey, you want to show your keister?
Yeah.
I can show mine gooder.
Oh, yeah. There were 17 Jeremies in that in that open window just having a ball at the expense of this Bears fan that is losing his mind. Now,
if you're that guy, don't watch games in public. I get it. I, at times, am also that guy, which is why I watch them from the confines of my home.
Yes. Which I will say, that was a phenomenal play. And I still don't know how it happened.
I know how.
But the fact that who was the defender?
Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson was jawing at the fans and then goes, "Oh crap, we're playing."
Oh, oopsie poopsie, it's my time.
Oh crap, they snapped the ball.
Oopsie poopsie, I gotta go do my job now. I can't. I also love that he said, I was just hyping up the Bears fans. I can't control how Washington reacted. Are you sure? You do know we have microphones down there, right?
You know we can see you.
We can hear you, too. And what you said was not nice. And karma came up and flicked you right in the forehead, and I loved every second of it. Instant karma in that one. So anyway, just congratulations to Jaden Daniels for adding on to the, amazing rookie year that he's had. Well, and it's ironic you said that because the last 2 hours of this show, we're going to be overreacting. You and I didn't get to overreact on Monday. I did. We're going to overreact to the first half of the season.
Okay.
And make some predictions. I have a few that are very pointed. And some of them don't make a whole lot of sense, but they will. We have 2 super chats before we go into this commercial break.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
First one's from our buddy Colin, who said he joined late, saying hello to you and I. Why are Ravens fans overreacting to the wide receiver that they traded for? He's just a slot receiver. It's ironic you said that because that's exactly what I said when we talked about that. And that was at about 27 minutes in the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the I understand why you did it. You got him for virtually nothing. I don't think that's the home run swing for Baltimore and the absolute end of days for Carolina that people are making it out to be. Carolina got something for nothing. Baltimore got another usable piece. I'm just not sure that this puzzle is going to fit together as nicely as everybody seems to think it's going to.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one more.
All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And this is one of those analogies that I'm not going to lie. Chef's Keith. From Soaring Eagle, old Captain Ayahuasca is making Let's Ride look like the second coming of Ronald Reagan. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I genuinely think the 3 worst quarterback trades in the NFL's history have happened in the last 5 years, and it was Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of those guys will be first ballot Hall of Famers. Well, one of them will be. The other one you think will be. He won't.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll be back right after the top of the hour. Do some overreactions from the first half of the season.
Recovering from the recent disaster, FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you're in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at GriggElectric.com.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, an afternoon where we're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. The mild weather continues here for a couple of more days, and temperatures will come down a few degrees, but it looks like we're still going to hover above average. 72 today, seeing a little more sun. Tonight, some clouds, 53. More sunshine on Halloween with a high near 75. Then we're down a few for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still no rain. Partly to mostly sunny at or just above 70 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Fire, flood, wind damage, arguably a homeowner's worst nightmare. For nearly 4 decades, First Restoration Services has been helping people recover from disasters with trust, integrity, speed, and quality. If you have a disaster, call them today, 1-800-537-6151, or online at frs247.com.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at generatorfranchise.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 locally, terrestrially speaking. You can take us with you everywhere you go with the iHeart Radio app. And, of course, you can see us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join us in the chat. It is an Overreaction Monday, or, as Jeremy likes to say,
it's not Monday, so
it's Overreaction Wednesday.
It's Midseason Overreaction Wednesday.
There you go. We can work on that for the next time.
It's too many words. So you got to get the syllables right.
Biggest overreactions from the first half of the season. Do we want to start with Jaden Daniels, since that's where we left off? Because I don't know what an overreaction can be. I mean, I don't feel like it's too much of an overreaction. I mean, we talked about how he's already, one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFC. What overreaction can you put on the Washington Commanders that would be considered an overreaction? I mean, unless you're talking Super Bowls, and I'm not sure there's much talk about that.
I don't really have an overreaction for Washington other than the fact they're going to win their division because they're the best team in that division.
Mm-hmm. Going away, which is the worst part.
And if you look at their schedule, there's a great possibility that they're going to finish like 12-5. That's not really my overreaction.
Okay.
If you had to vote for MVP right now, who would it be?
Ooh. Is it too much to say Jaden Daniels at this point?
Not for me. It's not for me, and there's my overreaction. I don't just think he's the midseason MVP. I think he's actually going to win MVP.
Again, as I said with the best quarterback in the NFC discussion, it's only been 7 weeks. I hadn't really thought about it in that sense, but as part of me wanted to say, Lamar, but they just lost to Cleveland.
Yes.
That takes a big old grumper on your.
And this is the first chance I've had to. You remember when I told you that exact same thing was going to happen? I didn't think Cleveland's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I am not surprised that Jameis Winston bump was what it was. Oh, and by the way, the defense looked better too.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's just irony. Best team you played, best you've looked. I'm sure that's just ironic.
Right.
Or you actually believed in your quarterback for the first time, and all of a sudden all that talent went, oh, yeah, we're good. We have to try, but we're good.
The Baltimore trade with Deontay Johnson, as I said earlier, it didn't move the needle enough, but it did make me think you're a little, you're a little better now. Just a smidge better now. But I see them walking away with that division still.
I see how you did that, but you just completely skipped over the whole topic of, we'll get to Baltimore, have no fear. That was an aside.
You weren't ready to move on yet?
No. Because you never answered my question.
Yeah.
If you had to vote for MVP right now, who would it be?
I mean, I guess it would be Jaden.
Because I've heard people say Lamar, and I get it. There's just one great big problem with that. In my top 7 would also be a teammate of Lamar Jackson.
Right. Derrick Henry would be at least 4.
And he's the reigning MVP. And we don't tend to see guys win those back-to-back. You have to be so unbelievably good that there is no path to you voting for anybody else. I've heard Josh Allen. Really dive into Josh Allen. He's been good, not great. He's only thrown 1 interception, which I think is so mystifying to people that they almost can't believe that he's only thrown 1 interception.
Yeah, it'll come.
I agree. The back half of that schedule's not daffodils and sunshine and rainbows. Currently, there are 5 guys with better odds to win MVP than Jaden Daniels. I want to see Jaden Daniels. I want to see if you can name them. I've already given you 2.
Okay, so Lamar
and Josh Allen are actively tied for first, according to the DraftKings Sportsbook at plus 300, and I think those are both sucker bets. Josh Allen, not as much as Lamar. You just have to think he's going to keep not throwing interceptions, which is possible.
Patrick Mahomes has to be on that list.
Which is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, he's the quarterback of an undefeated team.
Don't care. In terms of why are you undefeated, I could make the argument he doesn't belong in the top 5. He's leading the NFL in interceptions right now. It's him and Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that ain't MVP to me. He's on pace to throw 21 interceptions. That ain't the MVP.
Henry?
Derrick Henry is 9th.
Okay, so it's not.
Tied with Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. Sometimes I look at odds like that and go, what are you watching? Because I don't know what you're watching, but I feel like it's not the same thing that I'm watching. You could give me Brock Purdy at plus 2 jillion right now, and I would still not take it.
Statistically speaking, Kyler Murray, is he on that list?
He is right behind Jaden Daniels.
Okay. Burrow?
He is 12th. Right behind Purdy, Henry, and Darnold.
Right.
You see how hard it gets to get to this point of, what am I missing? Because right now, 4 is Jared Goff.
Okay, I guess I could see
which
that.
I get. The only problem is that you got a lot of pieces on that team, and it's not so much Jared Goff. I think he will get votes. I don't see any way he wins.
I don't either.
5 is Jalen Hurts. Which I've seen this now for 5 weeks, and every time I see that, I go, do you watch football, or do you just throw numbers at a board?
I guess. I mean, the efficiency stats play into that. I haven't seen a single
at best.
Right, I was going to say I can't. There's not a single snap of football this year. Granted, I've watched way less football this year, sadly, than any other year that I've watched it. But I have not seen a single play from Jalen Hurts that made me think, yeah, that's MVP.
We have a couple super chats.
Saquon. I would take Saquon before I would take
Saquon would make
Jalen Hurts
exponentially more sense than Saquon.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I'm going to do these backwards. Matt said Jared Goff's going to be MVP. here would be my argument on Jared Goff. That's not a big market team. What has he actively done that makes you think you're going to see a small market guy like that? Where's the hype? That's the best way for me to ask that question. Because I feel like you look at Detroit and go, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown and gun-toting Jameson Williams and
Sam Laporta. You look at the defense has improved. And I just look at Jared Goff statistically and go, he's good, but I don't think you're hitting me in the face hard enough statistically to overcome the fact that you have no narrative. Right.
The narrative is you're doing exactly what I expected you to do. If that was everybody and it was just him against Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, I would totally agree with you. The problem is that you have a quarterback that is a rookie that is playing for a team that universally we all pretty much thought were going to be, I think I was on the high side, and I had it like 7-10 or 8-9. And you're going to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole mess of hype that can make up for, I'll say, some statistical deficiencies. Jaden Daniels is only thrown for 7 touchdowns. That's hard to overcome. It's less hard to overcome when you're the rookie with the big narrative the year after C.J. Stroud kind of tapered off towards the end. And Jaden Daniels may do the same thing. I don't think he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that team depends on him so much. He is the straw that stirs that drink to the highest degree.
But just as Patrick Mahomes, obviously I'm not trying to say Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff are on the same wavelength here, so don't jump down that path on me just yet. What I am saying, though, just as Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback of an undefeated team right now, he's obviously going to be up there in the odds.
If Pat Mahomes gets if we were voting right now and Pat Mahomes got a vote, they should take your vote away. You realize he's thrown one more interception than he's thrown touchdown passes.
Yes.
He's 16th in yardage, and he doesn't run that much.
Mm-hmm. Jared Goff, in the same respect, is they're 6-1, 7-1 now? I believe they're 6-1.
6-1.
6-1. And it's a team that hasn't scored less than 30 points in the last 4 weeks. They've put up 40-plus 3 times in that 4-week span. And again, you're the quarterback of that offense. Right, your team's putting up 40 points a week in the last 4 weeks. You're obviously going to get some of the majority of the shine off of that, regardless of what your stats are. And the fact that he's only got, 13, so he's going 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He's completing 80% or 75% of his passes, I think, this year.
Jared Goff, I understand.
Yeah.
If I was power ranking them right now, there are 5 candidates for MVP. Josh Allen, and I would say I right now would have him probably – actually, you know what? I'll do these in reverse order. I would have Lamar Jackson 5. I'd have Josh Allen 4. I'd have Sam Darnold 3. Jared Goff 2. And Jaden Daniels 1. That would be my ballot right now.
Okay.
Lamar and Josh Allen are doing they're doing good things, great things, with great talent.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels is doing great things with Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown and De'Ami Brown and Luke McCaffrey. I mean, the third receiver in Washington is the 4th most athletic McCaffrey. And the ghost of Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. And that's not elite talent. And the defense is not overly talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's playing above its skis. But even then I look at Jared Goff and go, okay, you got arguably the best tight end in the league. You got the best duo of running backs. I've officially rolled over and died on David Montgomery. I don't get it. I'm never going to get it. But it works.
Yeah.
And you've got one of the best receivers in the league. Jaden Daniels has none of those things. And this is, at the end of the day, an individual award because it is most valuable player. What is Washington right now if Marcus Mariota is the quarterback of that team?
Bad. Bad.
They're 6-2 right now. I'd make the argument they'd probably be 3-5 with him.
Yes.
Because I would say they would have lost to the Giants. I would say they would have lost to the Bengals.
They definitely would have lost to the Bears. He's not making that play.
Oh, for sure. You're talking about that one individual play.
that one individual. There's no way they're coming back if he's down.
I have to remember that you didn't watch that game, so you don't know how comical it is that Washington was actually trailing in that game. Because they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams did less than squat.
I can imagine.
I look at MVP of which team would crater off into the rocks without you. Baltimore would still have Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo with Mitch Trubisky would still have pretty good weapons, a good running game, and be playing in a god-awful division. But there would be a significant drop-off there. That's why I would have Allen ahead of Lamar.
Okay.
I look at the other three. Minnesota without Sam Darnold. Are you freaking kidding me? With J.J. McCarthy, that team would be 1-7 because the defense is total smoke and mirrors. Now they have a left tackle. By the way, if you didn't watch the Rams-Vikings game, that was a big old problem. Christian Darrisaw got hurt, and I think they put me at left tackle. Hey, just don't block anybody ever.
No, they put me out there at left tackle, and I just waited for the guy to run by, and then I hit him.
No! Shove him in the back and run away.
That's right.
Punch your car. I'm going to punch your car.
Punch your car, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, finish your thought.
And my problem with Jared Goff is the talent around him. I think he's probably been the most valuable player.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would say right now it's those three are really fighting for the vote. I can't believe Josh Allen's going to win. He's due to a point, but I think you're going to have to be really special, and he just hasn't been. He's been really good. He hasn't been statistically special. Jaden Daniels hasn't been statistically special. He's been analytically special.
Yeah.
He's been incredibly accurate. He's done things that you would never think a rookie could do. And I just have a funny feeling that's going to get propped up.
And he should get the props for that, especially if things continue down the path that they're on currently, which is the Washington Commanders are by far the best team in this division.
For sure.
Philadelphia is not close. Dallas is a joke. And the New York Giants, well.
The New York Giants are a run-down single-wide trailer with a Maserati sitting in the driveway with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau when he's healthy. And even Azeez Ojulari was good against the Steelers. But then you look at the rest of that team and go, are we sure we allocated our assets in the right places here? Because you spent a lot there. And that is a Dollar General store around Daniel Jones. Tyrone Tracy is the best player on that offense, not named Malik Neighbors.
Yes.
And even Malik Neighbors at times looks like he is spaced out.
Wouldn't you be?
For sure.
With Daniel Jones as your quarterback?
There are times I watch the Giants and I feel like, and maybe I watch too much true crime, but I watch Daniel Jones throw passes to Malik Neighbors and I go, I want to talk to your insurance agent because I feel like Daniel Jones has an insurance policy on you and he's trying to get you killed.
Right.
But look like it was an accident. So I'm just going to lead you into a safety that's going to absolutely decapitate you over and over and over and over again. And now Neighbors has gotten to a point where he is so scared as soon as the ball touches his hands. I've seen more drops out of him in the last, specifically against the Steelers. He had two awful drops against Pittsburgh. One of them was a cakewalk first down. And just, nope, boopsie. Nope, I'm not catching that because I don't know what's behind me because I'm turned the wrong way. And they're going to hurt me real bad.
When was the last time an NFL MVP came from a non-contender?
I can't think of one. I'm trying to think of the last time an MVP came from a team that didn't win their division. Because that's been a minute.
I'm just trying to look down the list here and see if I can. I mean, because you had Lamar, Patrick, Aaron Rodgers back-to-back, but Green Bay was a contender both of those years.
They were the one seed one of those years.
Lamar, Patrick, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan in 2016. They went to the Super Bowl.
They did.
Cam Newton in 2015, they went to the Super Bowl.
That was 2 years of two guys that made you think they were way better than they were.
2012, Adrian Peterson. How good was that Minnesota team?
I think they won that division. I want to say that was the year Rodgers got hurt.
Uh-huh.
And he ran for 40 gajillion yards.
And I guess this is just the point I'm trying to make is, if Washington – Jaden can be special, and he is special. I'm not saying
they
that
have to
he
not
hasn't
fade
hit.
off.
Right. You have to be class of this division. You have to be one of the – you have to be one of the top 2 seeds, I would imagine.
I would agree. If Washington, but I guess that's my point, is if Washington does finish out this division, which I think they will because I think they're better than everybody else, that's the one where you've got so much hype behind it because nobody saw that coming. It's like I said, I feel like I was higher on Washington than anybody was because I was in love with Jaden Daniels. I didn't think they could do this. They're 6-2. I wasn't 100% sure they were going to win 6 games all year. And most of you were beneath that. I remember specifically saying Washington could be better than people think, and you laughed at me.
Mm-hmm.
And that narrative that's a strong, strong narrative.
You're in the Sportocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Midseason Overreactions. Continue after this.
Prices are like a money vacuum sucking your wallet dry.
No!
But don't fret, you could win our inflation vacation. $1,000 to ease your money woes. Woo-hoo! Listen for chances to win every weekday.
Explore a career as a correctional officer. NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring with a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Becoming a correctional officer can be a rewarding first step along a criminal justice career. Visit dac.nc.gov/cojobs.
Did you wake up with joint pain? Does it hurt when you do even the most routine physical activity? Have they told you it's time for knee or hip replacement surgery? Stop what you're doing and listen. You deserve a life of comfort and ease with no surgery and no meds. And QC Kinetics can get you there. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatments for joint pain. This is an all-natural approach that harnesses your body's own healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain. Everybody's talking about this now. It's so cutting edge. The protocols developed by QC Kinetics are life-changing for so many people. Tens of thousands of satisfied patients with more every day. Yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, without downtime. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free. Phone 828-333-9517. Phone 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics in Asheville and Greenville.
Hear that? The relaxing sound of ambient music in a yoga class. And if you were here, you'd listen to 15 people taking a deep breath in sync. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get a quote today and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And find inner peace with a different pose called Palms on Handlebars. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Halfway through the NFL season, taking some time here for some overreactions from the first half of the year.
We have a super chat that leads into my next point.
Okay, let's see if we can get the button up.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
This one's from Colin. He says, I have one worry about the Texans. If the O-line's going to get CJ killed at some point with how bad it is a leaking sieve. I do have a little bit of fear with Houston that I hadn't had in the past. So the reason that I wasn't overly worried about the offensive line is that I knew you couldn't just bear down on them because they had Nico Collins, because they had Stephon Diggs, because they had Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz and Joe Mixon. That changes a lot when your starting receivers are now Xavier Hutchinson, Robert Woods, and Tank Dell. And I get it. Nico will come back at some point. Stephon Diggs won't.
No, he's done for the year.
And now I look at that team and go, ooh, that's a problem. It's a problem that C.J. Stroud's getting hit this often because he was getting hit this often with two elite receivers on the outside and an elite guy coming out of the slot. How many times did he get sacked last year?
13.
Last year.
26.
38.
Okay.
He's already been sacked 22 times. So he's on pace to more than double, on pace to beat what he did last year as a rookie. That's less on him because he's getting better at getting the ball out of his hands. What do you think's going to happen now? If that doesn't get to 50, I'll be shocked. And I'm not sure there's anything you can do to fix it. I heard Houston mentioned with a couple receiver targets. That's a sunk cost. You are where you are. There's really nobody for them to add. Because you're committed to Nico. You're committed to Stephon Diggs. So you would have needed a one-year rental at best. And I just don't think Deontay Johnson would have improved you that much.
But between Nico and Tank, aren't they fine? And I mean, yes, losing Stephon Diggs hurts. But I mean, they did it last year with Nico
Set the
and
line.
Tank, didn't they?
Set the line. Houston Texans play at the New York Jets on Thursday. Set the line.
I'd say Jets or Texans minus 2.5.
You were wrong at Texans.
Oh,
the Jets are a 2-point favorite.
Yikes. Okay.
You have a team with a really good pass rush at home with their back against the wall, and now you've taken away his two best toys. I don't agree with them. I will happily take Houston.
I was going to say.
Even though the Jets did smoke Houston last year. And I have that weird burning feeling of, oh, crap, I know what's about to happen, and I don't like it.
This is the start.
I just want you to
this
roll
is the
over.
start
Just
of the
roll over and
playoff
die.
push.
Just roll over and die.
They're not going to do it.
It's more fun that way. Just do it. Don't have anything to worry about. You go have Thanksgiving dinner with your families. We're not going to the playoffs. Who cares? Just roll over and die.
But if we make the playoffs, you never know what Aaron can do.
No, I do.
How sick are you of that?
Very.
Yeah, you should be.
You know what scares me about Houston? Have you looked at their schedule?
Is it evil?
Well, they play at the Jets this week. Then they get the long week before a Sunday night game with the Detroit Lions. They have to go to the Cowboys, Titans, Jaguars, the Dolphins at the Chiefs, the Ravens at the Titans to close out the season. There are a lot of losable games in that, especially if you find a way to lose to the Jets.
I still look at that team and go, at worst, that's an 11-win schedule.
They've already got 2 losses. I don't see any way you're beating the Ravens, Chiefs, or Lions, and you will get tripped up in one of those other games.
No, but you can go Cowboys, Titans, Jaguars, Dolphins, Titans again.
And
That's
see,
5 more wins, and that's 11.
And see, that's where I'm at with New England, is that you've played these games with the Bears, with the Jaguars, with the Colts. You've done it with the Colts twice. You have somehow managed to come out completely unscathed in 4 games that you allowed to stay way closer than they should have. That tends to regress back to the mean, and I have a funny feeling they're going to get burnt a couple of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wager on the Texans to win the Super Bowl. If I had done it before Stephon Diggs got hurt, I could have cashed that out for a profit, and I would have done it. I would have done it because I don't see any way it's right.
Yep.
I need them to win a few games, bump that up, change those numbers, and I will cash that out the first opportunity I get. Please beat the Jets. Please beat the Lions.
Right.
Let people buy into you because I don't. I think the defense is good. I think C.J. Stroud's good. I don't think you can win at the level that you're expecting to win at with Xavier Hutchinson and Robert Woods. And Joe Mixon, who seems to get hurt about once every 3 weeks.
Hopefully Nico comes back next week.
That is the objective. But even then, I look at Nico and Tank Dell, and there's nothing else there.
Mm-hmm. You no longer have Noah Brown. Who was the other receiver that they had last year? I think they had another.
John Mechie.
Yeah.
He's still in the team.
Yeah, but, I mean,
He's
is
not
he doing
good.
I was going to say, is he doing anything this year? Because he did provide him a little bit of a spark as the 4 last year down the stretch. But has he done anything this year to be crazy about? Has Mechie done anything to make you think that, like if, God forbid, one more injury happens on this team in that wide receiver room, would you feel good about him stepping up to be the 3?
John Mechie has 4 catches for 36 yards.
Whoopsie doodles.
Ooh. I remember when they drafted him, everybody went, oh, that's going to be a what? What is that going to be?
Well, you thought maybe because he was so good in college that it would be something.
John
and then all
Mechie
of a
was
sudden,
always Devontae Smith if you got Devontae Smith off Temu.
Sure. But then what was it, the condition that he was dealing with,
Yes.
the cancer or
Yes.
leukemia or whatever,
Yes.
and then he's made the comeback. He's he's playing. It's good for him. But there's no.
I'm glad
I don't
he's
feel
healthy.
I don't feel like there's a future there. Like there's not a.
He's a 4 receiver in the NFL. That's all he is.
Yeah.
Steven Sims is a 5 receiver in the NFL. Now I look at your weapons, which were one of the things that I was the most intrigued by, is that you have a young quarterback that I find to be elite, and you had this arsenal of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't.
Yep.
They're going to win this division because this division is bad. But do I really think they're a threat? Like, do I think they're going into Arrowhead and beating Kansas City? No.
Mm-mm.
Do I think they're going into Baltimore and beating Baltimore?
No.
No.
Buffalo.
That one's closer. That one's closer. To me, that almost becomes Houston's defense is better. I like Houston's coach better. I wouldn't find that one to be as untoward. But right now I look at the AFC and go, the 2 best teams in the conference are Baltimore and Kansas City. Surprise, surprise. And I don't think you can beat either one.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville Midseason Overreactions, continuing here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, an afternoon where we're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. The mild weather continues here for a couple of more days, and temperatures will come down a few degrees, but it looks like we're still going to hover above average. 72 today, seeing a little more sun. Tonight, some clouds, 53. More sunshine on Halloween with a high near 75. Then we're down a few for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still no rain. Partly to mostly sunny at or just above 70 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by NC Medicaid for more people.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
The sounds of a massive group of iron steeds may be diminished this year, but these same bikers will stand up with their heartfelt desire to help those less fortunate. For 44 years, this annual event has taken place, and the hurricane may have lessened some of what we do, but it won't stop us. A community celebration of a small return to normalcy is what the 44th annual Ingalls Smoky Mountain Toy Run is being billed as. Join us Saturday, November 2nd at Kierfot, just east of Swannanoa. Gates open at 10. Food, music, event apparel for sale, a chance to win some cash with our 50-50, and Santa and Mrs. Claus may even make an entrance. Admission is a new toy worth at least $20 or $20 cash per person. Bring your classic and hot rod cars, no one turned away, and donations will be accepted. Sponsored by Carolina Towing, Harley-Davidson of Asheville, Curtis High Tech, and Cane Creek Concrete. Courage, hope, commitment, and community. The 44th Annual Ingalls Smoky Mountain Toy Run, Saturday, November 2nd. More info at SmokyMountainToyRun.com.
FEMA is hiring people in Durham, Hickory, and Asheville to support North Carolina's Tropical Storm Helene recovery efforts. Many different positions are available for a wide range of skill sets, including planning, communications, logistics, and community engagement. Be a part of helping your community heal and rebuild. To see all open positions and to apply, visit usajobs.gov and type keywords FEMA and a local hire, and then enter your location as North Carolina.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and time to get weird, Jeremy.
Well, and we're going to do our stories backwards today because I feel like this is a segment that will explain Tank and I in a nutshell, because his story is very wholesome and my story is very not. It's about the Crazy Horse 3 Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas. I love a good strip club promotion, and this might be one of the funniest ones that I have ever heard. November 5th, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., this gentleman's club in Vegas will give you a free lap dance if you show up wearing your I voted sticker. That's brilliant. To me, that is completely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already feel dirty because you had to vote for one of these turds. And so now you show up and just go to a place that's going to make you feel even dirtier. That's brilliant. Show up wearing. By the way, I have to ask this because you're a political guy and I'm not.
Yeah.
I think they're all crooked criminals.
Yes.
Is the I voted sticker not the stupidest thing we do as a society? Defend it, because you're obviously going to.
I mean, I
defend it.
don't know that it's stupid.
You could literally take a sticker that said "I pooped today" and put it on your lapel, and I would see that the exact same way.
It's like advertising. Yeah, I mean, you're getting the name out there, right? And so they give
I
everybody
don't need to get the name out there.
You do.
No, I don't. One of the great misconceptions is that everyone should vote. If you don't know what the hell you're talking about, please don't vote.
Precisely. That's why I said at the very beginning of the program, if you've done your due diligence and you've done your homework, get out there and go vote. You should absolutely exercise your civic duty, your right to vote. You should exercise that if you know what the hell you're talking about.
But before you do it, you should educate yourself, sir.
Right. And it doesn't matter what side of the envelope you fall on for me.
I don't care.
You can go, you can be complete lefty if you've gone through all the processes and you've weeded out all of the candidates that you like. You've done your homework. Awesome. You go vote for your people. Same thing on the right. If you're crazy and you've done all of your things and then you know all the guys and gals that you're going to vote for, you go do that. If you've been sitting around with your thumb in your keister for the last 4 years and don't even know who's running, don't do it. Personal opinion. Just don't bother. I don't need you participating in the process if you haven't even made a little bit of an effort to do any homework. Again, I don't care where you fall on the line, but if you're one of these people that goes, "Oh, today's day, I should go vote." Meanwhile, the last thing you voted for was the American Idol final. I don't want you there.
I don't know that I've ever been more proud of a Tank rant that I didn't expect.
It's just a personal opinion. Everybody has the right to vote. I get it. You're over 18. It is your right to vote. I just wish you would put a little brain behind that vote.
Yes, and educating yourself is not something you read on Facebook.
No.
Because all of it, lies.
Absolutely.
All of it. How do you know? I just know.
Yeah. If your number one reason to go vote is because so-and-so told me to, don't just skip it.
Especially if
you don't
that
need to do
so-and-so is Taylor Swift.
But, I mean, the I voted stickers, I get it, because it's a thing for people to put the sticker on, and then that reminds everybody else to go vote. Because I do that. When somebody walks in this building, Caroline Taylor did it. Our general manager walked in today with the I voted sticker on, and then my first thought was, oh, crap, I got to go do that before Tuesday.
Well, let's just go do it in between your shows tomorrow. We'll go up to...
We should. We'll go up to the Haywood Road Library.
Hey, and you know what? We can make a Dr. Douchy video about it and put it on our social media.
But I'm definitely wearing the mask under my nose. I still just can't get that is still the penultimate picture of Dr. Fauci sitting at that Washington Nationals game with the mask underneath his nose after he had been out there on national television for 6 straight months telling everybody you can't do that.
There's a feller on the social medias that plays old country songs, and he wears a lot of old cigarette brand T-shirts, and they're always tucked into his jeans. And he talks about playing fullback in high school. I want to go vote dressed like that guy just so everybody around me knows I'll bet $1 million I know who that guy's voting for. Don't have to ask any questions. It's not that hard. You can figure it out if you try.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. There's a new trend going on amongst the youngins.
The youngsters.
They're into weird fashion things.
The gins.
We've all been through this. We had our fashion faux pas when we were younger. The big Jinko jeans and stuff.
Did you wear those?
I did not. I didn't. I never had those big.
What was your fashion faux pas? I look cool. I'm asking.
Oh yeah,
he's still living it.
Right, exactly. Like I haven't changed my wardrobe since the 11th grade. Maybe
Tank dresses like a gym teacher in a middle school.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You can assume where I was headed with that. Yeah. I couldn't finish it, but you know.
Yeah,
and I know you know.
Yeah. No, I've never been fashion forward. Shocker of shockers.
Is there anyone that you look back on and go, I can't believe I did that?
Yeah, there was a time where I had kind of the skater look going, airwalks, long pants.
I've seen you when you were a youngman. You never had a skater body.
No, I never did. But I wore a lot of band t-shirts. Band t-shirts, camo pants, airwalk shoes, the chain hanging off the wallet, the puka shell necklace.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
It was either the puka shell or the rope necklace. You remember those little black rope necklaces that had like little pendants hanging off? Like it was like psychedelic mushrooms. Yeah, I did that.
I had to wear.
That was like 9th grade, I think.
I wore one of those puka shell necklaces for about a week because a girl I was seeing got it for me, and she was super hot. And I got to about day 6 and went, I want to whip my own ass. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that the third base coach is throwing the hands up No matter what I do.
Yeah.
They can still be trying to pick the ball up in the outfield. I am not getting waved home under any circumstances. I threw that thing in the trash and went, I am taking back my dignity.
After that, I went through like a polyester shirt phase where nothing, everything I wore was like, it was kind of like this story, kind of vintage, like 1970s looking polyester shirts.
So would you say, did you go full the ladies man?
It didn't have like the big collar on it, like the giant lapels, but yeah, that was a moment.
I need photographic evidence of polyester tank because I think that polyester tank is funnier than hurricane tank.
Mm-hmm.
Just see tank. Yeah, I bought you a nice bottle of Cavatier. I thought it would be nice if we could drink it together and talk about the things we like.
Look, vintage clothing has always had its place in the fashion world, and apparently vintage clothing is back in style with the younger generation, but it's not like vintage stores apparently that are getting the requests for this. Apparently now Gen Zers are shopping at Cracker Barrel. Because Cracker Barrel sells like the old looking sweaters and crew necks, hunting gear, stuff like that.
It has
apparently
like a
that's popular.
It's got
now.
like a picture of a goose.
We were hanging out on Broadway on Saturday afternoon. No, this was Sunday evening. We were out on Broadway, and of course Nashville is like the bachelorette party capital of the world.
Oh yeah.
So there's young women all over the place having
Fellas,
fun.
If you're a singleman and you have a problem like the New York Giants and you just don't score very often, that's the capital of the world.
Yes.
Because if you walk out of that place kicking field goals, it's you.
There was a group of young ladies who showed up for their bachelorette party, and they were all wearing granny costumes. Like, apparently it's a TikTok thing. I said this to Ariel earlier today, and Ariel said that it's a thing. It's like a viral thing.
But it is.
Yeah, these gals showed up. There was 8 of them, and they're all wearing like gray wigs and the old glasses and the sweater with the one button done at the top, looked like your school librarian.
You know what I think when I see
and
that,
I guess
this might be a little untoward, but I've seen that picture. I'm gonna keep using my analogy. I see that and immediately go, your red zone defense sucks. Just you can infer from that whatever you want to. Know what I meant.
So the old vintage sweaters and crew necks that were made popular by your grandma, those are now going for $30 in Cracker Barrel stores, and the Gen Zers are all over TikTok going, cheap clothing. But I don't understand how this.
You can buy every one of those for $1 at Goodwill.
No doubt about it.
Now, it might not be the same gray color that it was when it started.
No. But it'll have that weathered look that you're looking for.
Sure.
Little moth fraying on the collars and such.
Maybe a cigarette burn on the sleeve.
You could say
Salem for sure.
It's better than having cigarette burns in your duvet comforter at your hotel room. There were 4 of them, and I went, this may not be the best place to be.
I don't love this. They asked me how many hours I wanted the hotel room for. I found that to be very unsettling.
So apparently the crew necks and sweatshirts are selling so well at Cracker Barrels across the country that their clothing sales, thanks to Gen Z, are up 700% year over year. I never thought we'd get to the point where teenagers think it's cool to shop at Cracker Barrel in the gift shop.
I love Cracker Barrel. All right, I have never bought anything out of that old country store. I have, however, ordered 3 sides of biscuits and gravy. So I've done my part to keep that place alive.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at the CDs. They got that rack of CDs. First of all, no place should sell CDs. I drive a brand new truck. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't even know where CDs go in the thing. I'd lay it on the steering wheel and go, play it. Do it. Everything else I just have to touch a button because it's connected to my phone and it can read my thoughts.
Yeah, the first trip we went in there, I just saw an open slot and slipped the disc in there, and it went down into the manifold and screwed things up.
And now it's stuck
down
in the
the air
dashboard.
vents now.
Yeah, it's stuck in the dashboard. I'm pretty sure it killed a raccoon at one point. Hanging down there, just air wet whisker biscuit or whatever his name was.
Okay. Yeah, that's a name. That's a name you said.
It is. It sure is. Why does anybody listen to us?
I'm not sure.
Do you ever just sit back and go, there are actually people listening to this conversation? I'm not sure why.
Well, it's it's challenging. It's a good challenge while people are driving, not to wreck their cars from the stupidity.
Red Sea already said he almost choked on his lunch with my red zone joke. And Matt, with maybe the comment of the day, said we get polyester and hurricane tank in the same day.
Yeah,
I had to check twice and see if it was my birthday. I checked twice too.
Matt says Tank's like Mankind coming out of the ring with 7 different personas.
Oh, I feel very sure that polyester Tank was Dude Love. No doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
At least in his own mind. He was the New York Giants.
How you doing, cool chick?
He was the New York Giants in 10th grade, but he's trying real hard.
Yeah. In the end, the most competitive I was when I was playing with myself. You're sorry, that may have been too far. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Overreactions from the first half of the season.
Put us on Sirius XM, you will see a side of us that you were
You're gonna go,
not prepared for.
I thought they were so nice. Your biggest overreaction at the top right now. I mean, it's not an overreaction to think that the Detroit Lions are going to continue this. I think the overreaction here would be if for some reason you thought this was going to end at some point.
I have an overreaction with the Detroit Lions.
What is that?
If you told me right now I had to pick a team that was my favorite to win the Super Bowl, I would take the Detroit Lions over anybody else. They just don't have the deficiency that I see with Kansas City.
Mm-mm.
Kansas City gets into a shootout with Detroit. I don't like your chances.
The question is the Detroit offense good enough to get into a shootout with that defense of Kansas City?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They just hung 52 on the best defense in the NFL statistically. I get it. It's a little misleading. But still, through 8 games, no team's allowed less yardage than Tennessee. Oh, by the way, they threw for 84 yards in the whole game and scored 52 points. That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
They did it because they're that good in every level of a team. Detroit is outrageously good. And I'll be honest with you, I believe in them right now more than I believe in Kansas City. If for nothing else, because I live by that theory of I watch this with New England, it is hard to stay on top because you get everybody's best shot.
Yep.
And I look in those AFC playoffs and go, you're going to have to go through Baltimore, you're going to have to go through Houston, you have to go through Buffalo. You're not coming out of that unscathed. I don't think any of them can beat you. Not without it being somewhat of a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come through that. You catch a Detroit team that was the 1 seed in the NFC, and they got the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, one of those things not like the others. One of those things that doesn't belong. And look, I think Green Bay's good. They ain't Baltimore Raven good.
No.
They ain't Houston Texan good.
I mean, you can go back to the whole sharpening.
And yes, I do know they beat Houston. Mm-hmm. I understand.
You can go back to the whole sharpening the saw thing, right? Coming through that gauntlet, you'll be tested to take on whoever is coming out of the NFC. But
the NFC's deep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's insanely strong at the top because I think there is a huge drop-off from Detroit to whoever the 2 is. And I don't really care who you think that is. It could be Green Bay. It could be Minnesota. It could be Washington. I mean, I think anybody that has an IQ above, I don't know, the can I'm drinking out of right now, looks at Detroit and goes, they would have to either beat themselves or you would have to play completely flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And even then you would need some luck.
And every Detroit Lion fan sitting around their radio right now is going, shut up! You're going to jinx it. You're because we're waiting for the wheels to fall off of this thing. And
Detroit
unfortunately,
just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the only way I see that happening is going to be in just brutal, gut-wrenching, heartbreaking fashion.
I will tell you this: the only deficiency I see with Detroit right now is the pass rush. Now that there's no Aiden Hutchinson, don't be shocked if they make a move.
They absolutely.
I know for a fact they've called on Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that's the solution. I would rather have Zadarius Smith. I would rather have Trey Hendrickson. I would rather have a slew of guys. But they're going to make a move.
Mm-hmm. And they will leave no stone unturned to find it. This is the best shot you've ever had at winning a Super Bowl. You've never had a team that is this close, which is, I speak from experience, and Jeremy, you can speak from this experience as well, which is exactly when Lucy's going to pull that football out from underneath you. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We got 1 hour to go. Coming up next.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks with an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Nashville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. Just check out some of their Google reviews. One user writes, I'd been avoiding visiting the dentist for years due to poor experiences in the past. I had quite a few visits and procedures at Summit in the last year, and each and every one was made comfortable by the staff that work there. They're all kind and compassionate and take extra time to make sure your comfort level is right where it should be. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Told you.
He did make me think.
Don't do it.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
Don't do it unless you want to hear about how I feel.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Best just put that on conversation probation and leave it alone.
On ESPN Asheville.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, an afternoon where we're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. The mild weather continues here for a couple of more days, and temperatures will come down a few degrees, but it looks like we're still going to hover above average. 72 today, seeing a little more sun. Tonight, some clouds, 53. More sunshine on Halloween with a high near 75. Then we're down a few for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still no rain. Partly to mostly sunny at or just above 70 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by United Federal Credit Union.
This is Matt Sorrells at United Federal Credit Union here in Asheville. We're here for our community following the devastation of Hurricane Helene. To see how we can help, you can visit unitedfcu.com/North Carolina Relief or call 888-982-1400, insured by NCUA.
This is Carolina basketball.
Flips it to R.J. Davis. Pump fake for three. Now he'll take it. Count it! Count it, baby! Left corner to Trimble. Jab step. Drive. Foul. And the bucket.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Drives left against Taylor. He's fouled again. I don't know how, but he got the bucket. Bonds with Trimble going down the center of the lane.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
FEMA is hiring people in Durham, Hickory, and Asheville to support North Carolina's Tropical Storm Helene recovery efforts. Many different positions are available for a wide range of skill sets, including planning, communications, logistics, and community engagement. Be a part of helping your community heal and rebuild. To see all open positions and to apply, visit usajobs.gov and type keywords FEMA and local hire. Then enter your location as North Carolina.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are heard on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Also, everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. You can actually watch us as well on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. The third hour of the program, as always, kicks off here with our daily draft. It is... the Daily Draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. And we are focusing today on, spicy takes for the rest of the season?
And when you say Dale's Pale Ale, I can't help but hear Randy Houston go, "Meet Dale." I drank a couple of those over the weekend.
Dale's a good American.
And all I could think of was Randy Houston. Meet Dale. If I talk like that, I would never shut up.
No, and I'm so glad that you don't.
Oh, yeah, because you think I talk a lot now?
I was going to say, you rarely shut up now. That's actually why I bought this shirt from Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Anyhow, I'm not saying it because I'm going to screw it up if I say it.
Yeah.
It says shut the something up, and it's not that word. It's the chicken sound. I can't. I'm not pushing that envelope. I think I've already pushed it enough.
For sure. Because I really don't want this to be the Sportsocracy with Jeremy and that guy. Tank got let out of here by a very large man. He punched their car, and it didn't go as well for him the second time as it did the first time.
Yes, you remember that whole thing, that job security thing that we were talking about earlier? Yeah, I'm not putting that in jeopardy right now. Daily Draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Spicy takes for the rest of the season. I don't know how spicy this is, Jeremy, but I mean, I would be feeling right now like there might be a chance. There might be a chance that we have a non-quarterback MVP. Because we went through it.
Super spicy.
We went through it earlier, right? Talking about Jaden Daniels. I don't know that I can expect the second half of the season to go as well as the first half of the season has. At some point, you get to that stage where every rookie quarterback runs into some kind of a wall. So I can't get on the Jaden Daniels bandwagon. The way Patrick Mahomes has been playing right now, I don't really see it from him.
Can't be Pat.
Lamar Jackson obviously would be a great candidate right now. But I think if I'm going spicy, I got to go Derrick Henry. If he blows Saquon Barkley out of the water, which he's already 200 yards almost ahead of him right now in the rushing race. 180 ahead of him. If that gap continues to widen, but because everybody feels like Saquon's having a career year, which, I mean, he is, and if Derrick Henry blows him out of the water as far as the rushing goes, and he has 20 touchdowns at the end of the season, he's already at 10, I think. 9.
9,
yeah.
All right, so when we were doing fantasy football stuff, Breece Hall and Jonathan Taylor were going in the first round. Derrick Henry was going in about the third round.
Mm-hmm.
If you added Breece Hall and Jonathan Taylor's rushing yardage together right now, they would still be 70 yards behind Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, there is less than zero chance that he wins MVP.
You think so?
What would he have to do? Because beating the rushing record is not enough, because now we're in a 17-game season.
Yeah.
He plays 17 games. He's going to rush for somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
2,000 yards ain't enough. He's going to have to put up 2,300 yards and probably 25 touchdowns. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
We clearly delineated these about 10 years ago. MVP is a quarterback award. Running back is Offensive Player of the Year.
At best, yeah.
So I'm really glad you took that first, because we could have done this for 50 rounds and I would have never gotten there.
All right, what is your number one spicy prediction?
I have so many. And so I'm going to start with one that's going to sound completely insane when I say it.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I have now watched this team 2 weeks in a row with Russell Wilson against maybe the worst secondary I've ever seen for the New York Giants. He had a couple big throws. Do you know who they play for the rest of the year?
Who?
They play Washington. They're in a bye week this week. They come out of the bye against Washington in Washington. Good luck with that. You play the Ravens. You got 2 with the Browns, which looked a lot more fun a week and a half ago than it does right now. You have to go to the Bengals, to the Eagles, to the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bengals again. I don't think the AFC is very good. I also struggle to believe that 9-8 is going to make the playoffs. And 2 of your wins right now are against the NFC. I fully believe the Russell Wilson thing is going to fall apart. Because I watch it on tape, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I know he can't move. I'm not a defensive coordinator in the NFL. I can watch that and go, he cannot move. He's able to step up in the pocket, But in terms of him actually scaring me with his feet, he doesn't. You have one weapon that scares me. Do you know who that one weapon gets to face over the course of the rest of the year? Denzel Ward twice, Marlon Humphrey, whichever Eagle youngster, I would say it's probably Quinyon Mitchell, Marlon Humphrey again, Trent McDuffie. I don't like you in any of those matchups. Because if I have a number one corner that can shut down George Pickens, I'm sorry, I'm not worried about Van Jefferson and Pat Freiermuth. I don't know how it's going to happen. But I think this team gets unveiled. And where you're really going to see it's when they play Baltimore. Baltimore's better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they have falafeled around here and gotten to 6-2. You're not a 6-2 football team. You have wins over the Broncos and the Chargers and the Falcons and the Raiders and the Jets and the Giants. That's 6 bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are average. You beat them in the first 2 weeks of the season with Justin Fields. And I'll actually double down. This is not 2 takes, but I'm going to double down of if you would play Justin Fields, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying right now. If Justin Fields was their quarterback, I think they could finish out 10-7, and 10-7 will make the playoffs in the AFC. I have a weird feeling they win 3 games for the rest of the year and wind up losing the tiebreaker the last week of the season.
But at that point,
to somebody like the Indianapolis Colts.
But at that point, if it gets that bad, do they not go back to Justin Fields?
Why'd you go to Russell in the first place? I've watched 2 games that I've absolutely seen nothing that makes me think that was the right decision. Oh, but they beat the smoke off the Jets. Yeah, they were also down 15-6.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jets imploded, and Rusty just so happened to be there to piece all the pieces together. I don't think this team's very good. I've never thought this team was very good. And now with Russell Wilson, the more tape you give me on this and that little moon ball he keeps throwing, cool. You've played a lot of college football, 25. You ever notice you get picked off a lot when you lob passes in there? There's a reason for that. There's a reason guys don't throw balls like that. All I got, especially when you have one receiver, all I got to do is have one safety over the top. You'll throw 10 interceptions in 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's coming.
Okay. All right. And again, if that happens, I think they turn it back over to Justin. Because the only reason that they haven't to this point is that Mike Tomlin, against the will of everybody else, even in that front office, from what I understand, went, I got to put Russ out there because I brought him in here for a reason. He's trotted him out there for 2 games. They've won both of them. And Russ is fine. I mean, he's averaging like 200 and something, 270 yards a game or something like that. You can't really turn around and say I got it wrong because it's his call. He's the one that brought him in here. Now you haven't lost a game since, and he's still putting up stats. But if this turns and you start losing games, I don't think there's a very long leash here.
I do, and the problem is that you've taken reps away from Justin Fields that he needed. Mm-hmm. So now he's been running with the 2s. You're going to have to get reacclimated because it's different. And then it turns into just circling the drain.
Yep.
And that leads me to my second spicy take. The Indianapolis Colts are going to be 4-7, or 5-7, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to make the playoffs.
With Joe Falco.
With Joe Falco. Because I think he does start every game for the rest of the year. Even losing 3 of their next 4, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're going to. Because they go to the Vikings this week. Then they play the Bills, at the Jets, and the Lions. Best case scenario, you win 1 of those 4. I don't think that's enough to sit Falco down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, your last 5 weeks of the season, Patriots, Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jaguars. That's 5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
If you find a way to beat the Jets, the only game in the next month you play that I find to be winnable for you, you beat the Jets, you'll finish 10-7 because you're going to win the last 5 games of the season.
No. All right, so Pittsburgh misses the playoffs.
Yep.
Indianapolis makes the playoffs.
Yep. And that sounds insane right now. One of them just benched a quarterback. Another one's riding a win streak, and they're blah, 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 blah. Dig a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Dig a little deeper. It ain't hard to figure out.
I don't know what the hell is happening with your football team.
Mine?
And I'm sure that
mine is irrelevant. My team is less relevant than the officials are.
They are, but I think it continues.
Oh, they're done.
I don't know that I see any hope of a comeback second half of the season resurgence. Oh, they go on. I joked with you earlier that they're going to make the run at the end of the year here and be right on the cusp of the playoffs and possibly make the playoffs. But that was all just joshing, because I don't think it's happening. And I can fully see this thing just completely coming off the rails. You win a couple of games here and there, but I'm going to say this is it. I'm going to say this ends up being like a 5-win season, and Aaron's done. I have fought against that time and time again in my own head. And I know we've had the discussions here. Oh, there's no chance. Or at least I've said, there's no chance that this is Aaron's last year. I think it is. I think he's done.
I pray to anyone that will listen that this is Aaron Rodgers' last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No.
I told this stat on the Overreaction Monday that I did by myself. Before Sunday, teams that allowed less than 250 yards, did not give up a sack, and scored more than 20 points were 750-0 in NFL history.
Whoa.
Losing to the New England Patriots, there's your one. Now, here's where and people go, but you said the Jets were going to make the playoffs. I also didn't really kind of grasp that you were going to lose 4 games because of your stupid kicker. You do understand the difference between this 2-6 Jet team and a 6-2 Jet team is Greg Zuerlein.
Mm-hmm.
Because you lost to the Patriots because of him. You lost to the Denver Broncos because of him. You lost to the Minnesota Vikings because of him. There's another one, and now I can't remember which one it was.
It's been a lot.
It was a part of the story against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is a dysfunctional franchise from the top down. I have a hope that Aaron and his little cast of friends are going to sidle out, and that will be an attractive spot for a starting NFL quarterback. Who that is, I have absolutely no idea. And an attractive spot for a coach. The problem is I think they're going to fire everybody, and no GM is really going to want that job because you just fired one of the best GMs in the league, and we all know it. I mean, it's not me being a fan. Every scout I know goes Joe Douglas is the top 5 GM in this league, and it's not even a well-kept secret. He would be unemployed for 15 minutes. But Woody Johnson has a quick trigger. That's why you fired Robert Saleh, which didn't really make any sense at the time. Well, guess what? Now your defense has regressed. You've got guys that don't like each other. You got guys that aren't playing particularly hard. It's a bad franchise. It's going to be a bad franchise. Unless you're willing to, from the top down, change things, and they haven't for 25 years, so why would I think they're going to now?
Okay.
But I'm also a Jet fan, and I've read this book before. They end up going like 8-9 or 9-8, and they have some kind of hope late in the season, and then they boo-boo in your punch bowl. Because that's what the Jets do.
That's just
the Jets are like the Jets are like one of those real snarky cats, like one of those just keister hole cats. That's like you don't even really like the cat, little buttons, and he gets mad because you don't hang out at home and he poops in your shoes. Like I know what I did. I know exactly what I did. I hate you. I hate you, and I want you to feel pain, and I want you to step in that poop. Step in that poop. That's being a fan of the New York Jets.
Just willing it into existence.
You will step in that poop. Because I'm going to keep doing it until you do.
Yeah.
Leave me at home. Don't give me any catnip. Don't give me any wet food. I get these little pebbles of garbage.
The pebbles of garbage.
Dry cat food.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a fan of the New York Jets. And the bad thing is that you love the keister hole cat. You love it. You want it to be your bestest friend. And it wants to claw your eyes out in your sleep. New York Jet football coming at you.
All right. Let's see. Next. Next. We're going to take a break. I'm going to think about it. Because, I mean, I'm really at the point where I think I might say something dumb and get laughed at. And then it might cause me to, I don't know.
Punch a car.
Punch another car.
Hurricane tank coming at you.
You're in the sports
Wardrobe changing the brake, polyester tank when we come back.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you're in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. One user writes on their Google review, fantastic dental practice. Everyone I've come into contact with at Summit Dental has been very helpful and professional. The administrative front desk staff go out of their way to help with things that they don't have to do. Dr. Tompkins and Kim have been working on me recently, and they have been great about taking the time to explain everything they're doing to make it more comfortable for me. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Barry from the band Shinedown. We're heating things up with the release of our third hot sauce, Attention, Mango Habanero. The really hot part is that for every bottle of sauce you buy, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Musicians on Call. Musicians on Call brings live music directly to patients, families, and caregivers in hospitals across the country. Get your hands on our new hot sauce by visiting shinedown.com/tasteofmadness and help us deliver the healing power of music with Musicians on Call. We really appreciate it.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day, and smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
We are back at the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. I don't, you know, we're talking about mid-season spicy predictions for the end of the season, and I really wanted to bring Jameis into this somehow, but I really couldn't frame it right. I didn't know where to go with that. Like, I mean, Jameis Winston wins 5 games for the Cleveland Browns. That's not really It's not really moving the needle for anybody.
Well, if you want to be spicy, then you say something like Jameis Winston is the franchise quarterback that the Browns wanted Deshaun Watson to be.
Yeah, no, I get. And see,
and
I
got
can't.
news for you. If he wins 5 games against that schedule, I will roll over.
He
and
did
agree
well.
with you.
He did real well
because they play the Saints and the Dolphins, and that's probably the only 2 games that they're going to be favored in.
Okay,
because they have to go to Denver. Every other game, they're a dog.
And a sizable one, probably.
See, in a lot of those instances, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I'm thinking. I think I want to go Joe Burrow. Wins comeback player of the year. He's not currently the favorite for that, but I can't think that this continues. The doubting continues. Today, I think, was the first day that I've really heard you denigrate this team all that much. And I get it's because they just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in, sad fashion.
It's hard not to. You can't stop the run, save your life.
Right.
By the way, that's a real spicy take that the guy who is second in comeback player of the year balloting is going to win it.
Oh, he really?
Spicy.
He was 5th on the one I was looking at.
He is tied for second with J.K. Dobbins, well behind Kirk Cousins, and that would be my vote.
Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins going to win a division.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
There's no maybe.
He's like, there's no maybe.
There's no maybe.
There's no hope for you.
Maybe the sun will come
with
up
your
tomorrow.
pipe dreams.
Maybe the sun will come up tomorrow. There is no doubt the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not winning that division.
Wow. Okay. What are the odds? What service are you looking at over there?
This is on FanDuel.
On FanDuel.
It's not currently on DraftKings, or I would have given you the odds there.
Gotcha.
Kirk's plus 185. Burrow and Dobbins are plus 500. Kyler Murray and DeMar Hamlin are plus 650.
Wow.
Still doing that with DeMar? Okay. Didn't win last year, but this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what is your next take?
Still stuck on spicy tank with I'll make it really easy.
He's plus 700 on the list I'm looking at.
Well,
all right?
The list is stupid and it's not accurate. I will double down on what I said earlier.
Uh-huh.
Jaden Daniels is not only going to win Rookie of the Year, he's going to win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
We covered that one earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you all the reasons. It's because the narrative, there's nobody that's really distanced themselves, and you take the expectations of Washington, what we thought they would be compared to what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I have a handful that I want. I'm trying to – I'm looking at which one are you more likely to steal from me. The Atlanta Falcons are going to win the NFC South,
mm-hmm.
and Todd Bowles gets fired in Tampa Bay. Because without your receivers, you're going to see how bad this defense actually is, because you're going to get into Baker shootouts, and exactly what happened to you last week is going to keep happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to force Baker to throw, and all I have to do is manipulate him with a safety. And Atlanta did it twice, and that was enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Atlanta talent for talent is all that much better. They're way better coached.
Yes.
And they have a way better quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I could see that happening. The Dallas Cowboys, another irrelevant franchise. However, I do believe that something that I don't remember happening with them will happen. I think they blow this up before the end of the season. I think we're going to. Yes,
fire McCarthy in there.
I think they're getting to the point where it's going to get so loud that Jerry's not going to be able to keep this in line.
Well, if that's going to happen, then basically what you're telling me is they're going to lose the next 3 games. Because they don't have another period of the schedule where I don't think they're going to win or lose back-to-back games.
Yes.
So you think they
In
lose
fact, I think
at
they
Atlanta?
probably lose the next 4 games in a row.
I meant 4. I think I said 3. I meant 4.
Oh, okay.
So you think they lose at the Falcons, lose to the Eagles, lose to the Texans, lose at the Commanders.
And that's it. You've lost 6 games in a row. Your record will now be 3-8. If that's not enough for Jerry Jones to click in and go, okay, we got to do something.
When does it happen?
Well, seeing
Do you
as how
think he makes it to Thanksgiving?
no,
Because they're not going to fire him on a short week.
no. Oh, you don't think they'll fire him after the Washington game?
No.
If they lose that game, then they got 4 days left.
You talk about absolute unmitigated disaster. You have a new head coach and you're playing on Thursday. You ever seen a team do that? Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
I would say it's more likely they
Then maybe
lose to
they
the
do.
Giants on Thanksgiving Day, and that's when it happens.
Ooh.
Catch him on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Jerry loves to steal headlines.
Could be.
But, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't see a path that Dallas wins. I don't see a path that Dallas wins more than – I don't like you in any of the next 4 games. You're already 3-4. That'd put you 3-7. I just said I think there's a great chance they lose on Thanksgiving to the Giants because it's a short week and you can't fire McCarthy in that. You'd be sitting at 3-8 going into a game with the Bengals with a long week. Even if you win that, you end – Bucks, Eagles, Commanders, I don't think you're winning any of those. 2 wins against the Bengals and the Panthers. Fired Coach Bump against Cincinnati at home. Beat a bad Panthers team. You're 5-12.
I think this goes down as probably one of the most embarrassing seasons in Dallas Cowboys memory.
Why would you say that is? Expectation?
The expectation was too high.
I can't believe anybody had the expectation. I screamed this from the mountaintops of you do get that there is no possibility that this team ends better than 9-8. I think they're worse than I thought, but not by much.
They're exponentially worse than I thought because even getting to 9-8, I thought there would be hope there. This is the worst 3-4 team I think I've ever seen. Because I just look at it and go, there's nothing here. You are bad. And if you can't get special performances out of Dak and CD, you're not winning many games. You have 0 shot. There's nothing that I look at Dallas and go, you know how you get that feeling with some teams where they have, several guys that can step up and play meaningful roles and, surprise some other teams? You don't have that. You don't have Brandon Cooks that is out here winning you games. You got 2 star players, and that's it. Can't run the ball, can't defend, can't do anything.
Oh, and both those guys are paid quite handsomely.
Oh, yeah. I
You
mean,
got
you're
2
stuck.
stars in there. You're pot committed to both of them. All right, you've got one more.
You are stuck in a bad way. And then let's see. You already did a Jaden Daniels one because I was thinking.
I did. I gave you an opportunity at it.
Yeah, you did.
I had already said it, so I figured I'll give you a shot. You didn't take it, so I did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it. I'm gonna go back down
such
the
a good one, and I want you to not take it.
What?
I have such a good one, and I've waited because I don't think Hurricane Tank has the huevos to say what I'm going to say.
What? The San Francisco 49ers finished last in their division?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's not the one I was talking about, but that's a good one.
They don't thrill me. And I was sitting there watching them play the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football the other night, sitting there having a couple of beverages, thinking, they're up big. They're in all intents and purposes, they are beating the crap out of the Dallas Cowboys right now. And then Dallas scored those 2 late touchdowns, made it look close, but that's how bad they are. That's how bad San Francisco's defense is at times, where even in a game that you should have blown them out and it should have looked like, man, this was a cakewalk, it still didn't look that way. I understand the one pick play where the 2 defenders ran into each other and C.D. Lamb's all by himself. But one play of C.D. Lamb with nobody within 20 yards of him is just an indictment on your entire team and your coaching philosophy and your leadership and everything top to bottom. And, I mean, I don't think this is getting much better. I really don't. And I could see the path. I could see the path where San Francisco just muddles their way through all of this and everybody else in that division shows you a little something. Arizona's got something to build on. Seattle's got something to build on. The Rams, well, they've crawled back from the dead because their weapons are healthy now. San Francisco, they're not in good shape.
So I have 2 more, and then you got to round us out with the final one.
Okay.
Dennis Allen gets fired this week after they lose at the Carolina Panthers. And he will be the first coach, I believe, in NFL history to ever start 2-0 and not make it to Thanksgiving.
Wow. I like that one.
And then for the spicy, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the first team to go 17-0.
Ooh.
And they're not going to win a Super Bowl, just like the last team that went 16-0.
Really?
I don't see a game they're going to lose. I mean, you look up and down that schedule, I don't think anybody in that division can beat them. They'll play with them, but then you get into winning time, and they're going to beat you. They have to go to Buffalo and play the Bills, but that's in mid-November. It's not going to be that bad. Other than that, who in the world are they supposed to lose to? The Steelers? Good luck with that. That's probably the second best team on the schedule. They play the Bucks, Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns, Texans, Steelers, Broncos. And the Texans is in Mile High 4 days before Christmas. Good luck with that. They play the Steelers on Christmas. And I think this team's going 17-0.
Okay,
I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl.
I will piggyback on that and say that the Kansas City Chiefs don't even make it to the Super Bowl. And this is the year, my friends, that the Buffalo Bills will get it done. I'm not saying they win a Super Bowl.
But they get there.
They beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Somehow, some way, Josh Allen continues to be Mr. Ball security. He's got 3 turnovers this year.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
That was a slow weekend for him last year.
And I'm going to say Buffalo wins the AFC. Finally gets to the Super Bowl. And then, hey, anything can happen.
All right. Your MVP is who?
Josh Allen. If he gets them that far, he'll have to have the best regular season he's ever had.
Your Super Bowl matchup is who? Bills and
Detroit.
Lions? I will go Chiefs-Lions, and the Lions win it. Lions-Bills in a year that's just been awful, and we go into the stupid election with 2 grumpers. Bills-Lions is the Super Bowl we need.
Yes. And then it really wouldn't matter how it turned out. Everybody can cheer for something.
And then we all can get hammered on Super Bowl Sunday and take Monday off to just bask in the glow of something good finally happening.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, an afternoon where we're seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. The mild weather continues here for a couple of more days, and temperatures will come down a few degrees, but it looks like we're still going to hover above average. 72 today is seeing a little more sun. Tonight, some clouds, 53. More sunshine on Halloween with a high near 75. Then we're down a few for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still no rain. Partly to mostly sunny at or just above 70 degrees. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Superstore for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Hondas, including the CR-V, the HR-V, and Civic. Apple Tree Superstore is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at appletreesuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
My daughter Natalie was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma.
We thought we were losing our daughter, and then when we came to St. Jude, everything changed.
We just did the best treatment for Natalie.
It's the donors who have already taken on that burden on their backs and said, all right, we've got this.
Hope changes everything. It's what's kept us going.
You can help kids fight childhood cancer. Please become a St. Jude Partner in Hope today by texting SHIRT to 785-833.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger. Faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
All across the Tar Heel State, this is Carolina football.
Stepping through a tackle and stepping to the end zone. It is pouring points in Chapel Hill. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win!
The Heels travel to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. Pre-game coverage starts at 2:30, kickoff at 3:30 on your home for Carolina football.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. And up until this year, apparently this was a crime. I wasn't aware that any place on the planet had this outlawed, but apparently this year, tomorrow.
Putting your CD in the wrong slot.
Look, I just found the slot. I stuck it in, and bad things happened. It's weird.
And it got our friend, the raccoon, whose name I'm not going to say again.
The groundhog.
But you know.
You mean the groundhog, right?
No, that's who you hit.
Oh, yeah.
Poor thing never saw it coming.
Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day. You know what tomorrow is?
Thursday.
What's tomorrow's date?
Oh, Halloween.
It's Halloween.
The most overrated holiday of all holidays.
Why do you say that?
Oh, Halloween's. I've always thought Halloween's one of those things that it's grossly overrated.
Uh-huh.
What is the perk of Halloween? Oh, we got spiders. Spiders and cobwebs.
Candy. It's candy.
You're a freaking adult. Go buy some.
You can buy a bag of candy any day of the year.
At your local Ingles supermarket. Low prices, love the savings.
Yeah,
How
but
about
when
that?
you were a kid, it was the only time. I mean, not the only time, because obviously I didn't get to be 300 pounds
I was
by
about
not
to say,
eating candy
I'm going to
ever.
venture a guess that didn't just get to eat candy one day a year, considering you were in a movie called Fat Kids. I have sat on that joke for 4 years. Never had a chance to tell it until just now.
I did. It's called Heavyweights.
Potato.
And and before the movie came out, everybody thought I was in a movie about boxing, apparently. I got asked that question a lot. What's that movie you're in? Heavyweights. Oh, is it about boxing? Yeah. I played a boxer.
Yeah, he played Butterbean as a child. You talk about a role you were born to play? That's the role you were born to play. And I'm not even a casting director.
Butterbean Jr.
You look like Butterbean right now.
Tomorrow is Halloween.
I have killed this story.
Yeah, you have. It is the one day of the year where you could, you could eat a whole box or a whole bin of candy and not get too many side eyes. But tomorrow is going to be the first day since 1938 that kids have been allowed to trick or treat in Des Moines, Iowa.
If there's any place kids should be allowed to trick or treat, it's Des Moines, Iowa. Hey, let's go outside and push each other.
Right. Well, where back in the day, apparently the first trick-or-treating events came up because too many people were pulling pranks on Halloween, on All Hallows Eve. Trick-or-treating was invented to keep people from doing the vandalism and all of the things. Well, apparently Des Moines, Iowa, they went, screw that. We're not giving the kids anything. We're just going to ban it outright.
You know what you get? Corn, and you'll like it. And wheat.
Apparently in 1938, Des Moines...
Never mind. No good can come from what I was about to ask.
In 1938, Des Moines police responded to more than 500 reports of vandalism on Halloween night in which teens set fire and threw bricks. Ever since, kids go trick-or-treating the night before Halloween, which was known as Beggar's Night. Very PC name there. While Halloween was reserved for the adult and family-oriented activities. And coming up tomorrow night will be the first time since 1938 that children in Des Moines can actually go trick-or-treating on Halloween night.
It blows my mind that so many adults love Halloween as much as they do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a yearly PSA. Just because you put the word slutty in front of something does not make it a Halloween costume. I'm a slutty cat. Well, usually you're a slutty paralegal. It's different than the other 364 days of the year. I loved that joke.
Move on, Whiskers.
I wanted to get that out there. My story comes from Staunton, Wisconsin, and a pizzeria called Famous Yeti's Pizza. This story is going to get more confusing as I go. Apparently, this pizzeria housed an oil that contained crimes. You know what Delta 9 is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weed thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently, somebody that worked for old Famous Yeti decided their coolers would be a great place to keep their marijuana oil. And at some point in the last few days, they ran out of normal oil, and they saw a bottle. I guess they didn't smell it. And they made up a pie. And then they made up 59 more and sold them to the public. And everybody got CP. They all got Aaron. They got Anthony Richardson. I'm really tired all of a sudden. I want to eat a whole bag of Funyuns and watch Clerks. How does that happen? How do you have weed oil, in a state where it's not legal in the first place? Obviously, the local government got involved.
Have you ever seen people that work in pizza parlors?
Oh,
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying we all know what you're doing on your smoke breaks.
Oh, yeah. We went to a pizza place in Columbia, South Carolina that was called Stoner's Pizza Joint, and I went, well, they put it up on the sign. All the others, you just have to assume it. This one went, no, this is what we are.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's on the sign.
And it was some of the best damn pizza you've had.
It was good pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stop. I'm gonna sound like an old man here, and I get it. Can we stop infusing things with the marijuana?
No.
If you want to smoke it, smoke it. I don't care. Please don't do it around me because I think it smells like a corpse. But stop putting it like, I made brownies with THC butter. Why? Why did you do that? What? I might accidentally eat one of these
tells
cookies.
me Jeremy's never had one of those.
Because they taste terrible. I've had gummies from you, and they taste like feet. Oh, it's good. No, it tastes like crap. It tastes like that crap you light smells. It's awful. Look, and it just makes me want to lay on the couch and act like, never mind, no good. It was a good joke.
You feed him one gummy while you're in Detroit.
Yeah, and I went to sleep. Awesome.
He did.
That was a really expensive melatonin. Congratulations.
It did get him. Surprisingly enough, I did find out that is the way to get Jeremy to shut up. If you've had enough of his voice for a while, go, here, won't you try one of these? Tastes just like the Flintstone gummies we used to have when we were kids, Jeremy.
Those weren't gummies. Those were vitamins, and it didn't taste just like that. I knew exactly what it was.
I know.
And then I got so paranoid that I was afraid that the government was coming to get me, and that there's nothing fun about that.
Mm-hmm.
Might be funny for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was not fun for me. You jackal.
Oh, Matthew Hoffman says, I need to eat a weed brownie?
No, he doesn't. This is stone cold sober. We don't need to infuse that with squat.
He threatened me with a good time.
I'm already just completely puckered, and it's because in 5 minutes I know that door's going to open, and somebody's going to go, see what's talking about the last 3 hours?
Yeah, can we talk about what?
Just have a little powwow about what exactly is it you'd say you're doing here?
We've been doing this show together way too long. Way too long. Yes. Okay, so final moments
super chats
of the program here. Super chat time.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Red Sea with a twofer because it's falafel and funny, Jeremy. Mm-hmm. That was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that was to the red zone joke that I told earlier. And yes, you're all welcome to use that. When you're out with your friends, you feel free to say, I'm in the red zone, and their defense does not seem to be very good. Mm-hmm. The other one, hit the button again.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Red Sea again said, so Jerry said they were all in this year. What he didn't know was that he was talking about being all in on Ashton Gianti.
Aha. Well, he definitely needs to figure out something, because hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. That team was never going to be able to run the football this year. And those were the two backfields that I looked at in the preseason and went, that's not going to work. I don't care how good your offensive line can be. It was the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. You got to know you need a guy.
And Zamir White and Alexander Madison and Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott. They can all be pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to be the head of that snake.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Final thoughts on the mid-season predictions?
Do you have one that you haven't made yet? That you...
I don't, because this whole thing is just kind of unfolding in a manner that, well, I feel like it's coming clearer to me, or becoming clearer to me, that the teams that we thought were going to be bad at the beginning of the season are pretty much the teams that are bad. Teams that we thought were good, pretty much good. The only real surprises that we've had probably would have to be the Washington Commanders.
And the Minnesota Vikings.
Exactly. And I still don't know how this is going to pan out for Minnesota. But making the Cam Robinson trade.
That was a great.
Absolutely.
I don't like Cam Robinson. I just like what you were playing way less because it's brutal.
But I feel like Minnesota is stuck because I don't think they're ever going to be as good as Detroit.
No, and you do run into that problem if you're not the best team in your own division.
Right.
The thing for me with Minnesota is I look at that schedule and go, you play the Lions and you play the Packers the last 2 weeks of the season. I could make the argument that's the only two good teams you play for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy the futures
on
for the
Minnesota.
Minnesota Vikings, and I'll buy them hard. And you know what? If you're going to buy the futures on the Minnesota Vikings, there's only one place that you go to take that, DraftKings Sportsbook.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA is back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA prop bets. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow at noon.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
If you snore or you have been diagnosed with sleep apnea, then you're not breathing adequately at night, and we all need a good night's sleep. A custom oral sleep appliance is perfect for people who can't use a CPAP for their obstructive sleep apnea. And if you have that prescription for an oral appliance from your physician, you can take it to Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, and they will do the rest. If you've not yet been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and maybe you think you have it, then Dr. Merrill is happy to help you out with a free sleep apnea screening. Find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we get set for one of the best rivalries in the mountains. It's Asheville High at AC Reynolds. Both teams are fighting for position down the stretch to get that conference championship, and we'll be there to bring you all the action. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 with a kickoff at 7. On ESPN 1400 and TuscolaRadio.com, Tuscola is on the road at North Henderson. Chris Kelly and the guys will have the Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show starting at 7 with a kick at 7:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, November 2nd, as WCU football takes on Chattanooga for homecoming. Come cheer on the Catamounts in what is the 50th anniversary of E.J. Whitmire Stadium as WCU takes the Mocs in a SoCon showdown. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit CatamountSports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you are in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.